All right, so let's get straight into it. This is your no BS iPhone buyer's guide for the iPhone 15, 15 Plus, 15 Pro, and 15 Pro Max. Also, I'm gonna give you a reality check as to where the smartphone era is in technology to date, because you're gonna be on YouTube, you're gonna see a bunch of overprivileged, jaded tech YouTubers possibly talking down on what is an era that is no more. And what am I speaking about? The Renaissance era that we just had in the smartphone, world, where every keynote was just dramatically an increase in technology and improvements and upgrades to every smartphone. That's practically over. At this point, the glass sandwich smartphone has reached a good space. And with that being said, Apple is at the task of how do we make the Apple user's experience better? And that comes through refinements. And the second that you swallow and accept the pill that the Renaissance currently right now is just in a cool period, then you can accept and also appreciate the improvements that we received in the iPhone 15 models and the 15 Pro models. So let's get into that. The colors that we're given is black, blue, green, yellow, and pink. Not too much of a surprise because people be leaking stuff. But what are the true changes with this device? The biggest changes are we have Dynamic Island now on the regular iPhone models, and you're getting that iOS experience with the Dynamic Island. Okay, so another cool upgrade is the new 48 megapixel camera coming to the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus. Now you are getting a iPhone Pro level camera on the regular base model iPhone, and this needs to be given flowers. Apple, thank you for that. Now, they also are giving you the 2x telephoto capability, which I think that's just basically cropping in on the 48 megapixel down to 24 megapixels and allowing you to get that, reach. And this is basically happening within the wide angle lens, and essentially it's kind of trying to give you that 3 camera feel with just 2. Again, like kind of closing that gap in between the Pro iPhone user and the iPhone user, not fully, but like to a degree. The iPhone 15 and 15 Pro are also benefiting from the A16 Bionic chip. No, it's not this year's A17, but let's just be real. The performance in all of these A chips are phenomenal. It's to the point to where even if you have an A16 chip in 2023 going into 2024, you'll be just fine. And then last but not least on the iPhone 15, 15 Plus of most important changes is USB-C compatibility. Let's talk about the iPhone 15 Pro Max and Pro. First thing first, to kick it off, the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max now have a titanium build, which benefits us in more ways than one. Not only is titanium pretty and fairly durable, but the beauty of it is it's extremely light. So the weight reduction that we're gonna see in the Pro models should be somewhat significant. So in the realm of weight, I just looked it up. I don't know if this is fully technical, but it's looking like about a 19-gram reduction in weight with the Pro Max models. If I were to look at the Pro models, it's about the same, about a 19-gram reduction in weight. So, if that matters to you, if that feels like a great weight reduction, then bravo to titanium. Another cool change in the Pro models is the action button, which now gives us way more capability than just silent mode. So that now allows for so much more function at a button that was just a switch in the past. A big change with the iPhone 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max is the A17 Pro chip. No longer just an A17, they added the Pro because they're adding in Pro class GPU performance. So if we look at the true platform of the A17 Pro chip, we got the 6-core CPU with 2 performance and 4 efficiency cores, and then we have now a 6-core GPU versus last year's 5-core GPU. Now, one cool new physical change in the camera department is the new 5x telephoto, which is the equivalent to a 120 millimeter zoom lens. I'll be testing it out and I'll try to use it in a typical sense and see if I can, match what I get out of cameras like this. And Apple also had a stress on new image processing. And the last big thing coming to the Pro models is USB-C with the speeds of USB 3. What does that mean, CJ? You have up to 10 gigabits of transfer speeds on the Pro models. Now, what you came here for, the no BS buyer's guide. What should you be buying and upgrading to? The first thing you gotta think about is where are you coming from? Okay, with iOS 17, as you can see right here, we're going back to the iPhone XR, XS Max, 11, 11 Pro, and forward. So if you have a device older than any of these, if you got the iPhone 10 oh yeah, player, it's upgrade time because you are no longer in the upgrade cycle of software. And these devices are on their last leg down at the iPhone 10, 10R, even the 10s Max. See, look how far back Apple goes back with their software support. If you're coming from an older iPhone, I don't care if it's 10, 11, 10s Max, even down to the 12 and 12 Pro and so forth. This looks like a decent, actually a significant, nice upgrade for you guys. I mean, we have a body redesign with the titanium build. Also, I forgot to mention the rounded edges for a more comfortable hold. And then if you just want the regular, you got the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus coming in with new camera hardware, better battery life, a solid A16 chip, allowing them to last longer within the iOS upgrade system and so forth. What everyone wants to know, should you be upgrading from last year's model? That's what everybody wants to talk about, right? Let me go to, I had a comparison. So for me, I got the iPhone 14 Pro Max, we'll be going to the 15 Pro Max. What are the true differences? As you can see, you know, same screen size. Now, we got the action button, okay, that's the difference. All right, we got the latest chip, we got that new Pro chip, so we got extra GPU performance, okay, cool. Same cameras, essentially, except for that new 5x telephoto, okay, cool. You know, same battery rating, and yeah, there's not much of a difference other than if you're gonna benefit from USB Type-C, which is a benefit to some people and a lot of people. If you're gonna benefit from the new Pro transfer speeds due to that USB Type-C. The more products that they transfer over to USB Type-C, the more that unity will become apparent. But is it necessary to do it now to actually feel it? I don't think so. Unless you can benefit from the new USB Type-C speeds and you just want that convenience. So there are a lot of people who can make that move just for USB Type-C, and I respect it. The action button is cool and it offers, you know, extra step or layer in between you having to unlock your device to do other things, but is it upgrade worthy? You know, honestly, at this point in day and age, as I said, with the Renaissance era being over, it's not gonna be like these impactful changes. This is only gonna happen over so many years. And at that point, you just have to come to the reality as to whether or not these convenience features benefit you in your everyday life, if your budget can actually handle it, and so forth. Those are the real true factors when it comes to upgrading. There's another key thing too that is different with the Pro models. The starting storage is now 256 gigs. The Pro can start at 128 gigs, but if you go with the Pro Max, you now start at the base model of 256 gigs, and there's also a $100 price increase with that. But it's the same pricing if you would have picked the 256 gig model, which I always bought in the past. So did the price really go up? I don't know. Did it go up? Because all they did was take away the 128 gig option, kind of like push you into the 256, and they're collecting that coin that way. But that's only on the Max model. If you want the 128, you can get that with the 15 Pro, and you can stick to the same prices last year with $999. All right, so if I go to view pricing on the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus, all of the prices are still the same, which is solid. I just feel like the iPhone lineup right now is very, very solid and strong as far as the pricing tiers. Yeah, I honestly feel like the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPhone 15 offerings are solid this year. Upgrades aren't like a huge leap, but they're good refinements for a good Apple user experience, and that's all that matters. So buy wisely. This is the No BS Buyer Guide. Get what you want. The iPhone 15, it gets my stamp of approval as of right now as a go-to. Now, upgrading year over year, come on now, you know what you're getting yourself into. Y'all don't even have to ask.
It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. Misunderstood, get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds, it's understood. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. And now I'm good, wake up and I do my part, wake up and I do my job, just how I should. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. Misunderstood, get up, had to beat those odds. Got up and I beat those odds, that's understood. It was always me versus me, it was never me versus you. And now I'm